What's approaching the supreme moment, reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Alright, here's another showcase. I went ahead and maxed out the free-to-play Super Saiyan 2 Kale, mainly because I made the mistake of farming a bunch of her cards thinking I could level up the Berserker Kale. Well, you know, in hindsight, I guess it's not too bad since I was able to max her out. Alright, so I'm going to talk about this very briefly, but just notice that level 9 for criticals and level 17 for evasion is the setup I went with, because I'm treating her purely as a support unit. But in hindsight, I'm thinking it might be a little bit better to go with a balanced approach. Just a heads up, and you'll see that in the video. So, you know, kind of make your own decision as to what format you want to go. Whether you want to go heavy on crits, provide some additional attack, and then maintain a level of evasion. But, you know, you'll see a heavy focus on dodge here and see if it's even worth it. Honestly, I'm kind of reevaluating that option a little bit. And I have, you know, a bunch of her cards left over, so you know, I'm on the fence of whether to make adjustments for her or not. But let's go over her stats a little bit. She does have the leader skill, a +2 key HP attack defense increase of 30% for intelligence types. Super attack does cause supreme damage to enemy and lowers defense. That's kind of why, if it was greatly lower defense, I would have possibly put in some additional attack, but in this case it wasn't, so that's kind of why I didn't really provide any levels for additional attack. Her passive skill for Universe Survival Saga category, +2 key attack and defense increase of 30%. So very nice passive skill there, and you know, that'll help the team overall. Link skills, she does have Super Saiyan, Battlefield Diva, Rival Duo, Warriors of Universe 6, Tournament of Power, and Prepared for Battle. She falls into 2 categories, Universe Survival Saga and Peppy Gals. Her 12 key multiplier is 140%, so not too bad there. And like I said, yeah, I went with a heavy focus on the dodging mechanics at level 17 because you know, like I said, her purpose is mainly as a support unit. I don't expect her to do too much damage, so in that sense, you know, it's better for her to, you know, have a high level of dodge. But at the end of the day, level 17 for evasion is only a 17% chance of dodging, since it's 1% per level. So, and you know, by testing her out, I've noticed that it really isn't that frequent, right? So, you know, with the critical, you'll see this, but she does hit for about 360,000 in damage, depending on what kind of, you know, boss enemy you're fighting against. But it almost seems like it's better off to, you know, focus on a little bit more on the critical side, and then possibly additional attack versus dodging, because really, if she's only dodging ever so often, there's not really a sense in putting that much work into, you know, the evasion mechanics, you know what I mean? So just watch the video, kind of make your own assessment of it, how you want to go about, especially for, you know, the free-to-play type of players, because she can actually be a pretty decent card. You've noticed that she is on a mono intelligence team right now, but I will switch over to the Universe Survival Saga team for the second part of the video. Alright, so as you can see, even with the Dokkan mode, she only hits for about 300,000 without criticals, so that's why I was saying for me, her intention is to be a support unit, just to provide that extra attack and defense for the rest of the team in the Universe Survival Saga setup. You know, since I do have Caulifla at 100%, Kale at 90%, Jiren at 80%, and unfortunately Ultra Instinct Goku has no dupe paths, but he can still hit pretty decently, so 30% attack and defense increase for all of them in that kind of setup definitely does help. And yeah, I think it's worthwhile. I just went ahead and maxed her out because, you know, I figured some of you guys may be wondering what she's like at 100% and deciding whether to you know, invest the potential orbs or not. Personally, I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. But the benefit of that 30% for attack and defense for the rest of the team is more than a good feature, I guess, that she does provide some benefit. I don't know. I'm still on the fence of whether to give her a little bit more in criticals. I think she could potentially get level 12 for criticals. That way, you know, instead of 9, it's a level of 3 increase, which will increase chances by 6% roughly. And I try to switch it up a little bit. You notice this is on the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock event, which also does remind me, if you guys are trying to decide, you know, what banners to wait on. I know Angel Golden Frieza just got released. He's a very good category lead, but the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, the unit itself is very good, and the category team you can build with that is also very, very nice. I like those two team setups a lot, and I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing me say that now, but yeah, Bardock is definitely a really good card, and I rate him pretty highly. I don't have any Dude Pass unlocked with him, but he still hits pretty decent, and he can actually tank very well. So yeah, in case you noticed, yeah, she really doesn't dodge a whole lot, even with that level 17 and evasion. So yeah, like I said, I'm still on the fence what to do about it. I think I still have like 5 cards left over at UR status, so I could easily go in the potential system and use those cards to change the potential system level setup. So I don't know, I'll think about it a little bit. Alright, so we're back to the Universe Survival Saga team. I'm going to put her up front just to see how frequently she might be able to dodge. In order to do that, I am going to use a defense damage reduction item. So yeah, 120,000 in damage really is minuscule amounts of, depleting the HP. So, but I mean, honestly, I don't really think she was intended to hit hard. More or less, she's a support unit. But yeah, I mean, she takes a lot of hits. Like you notice, she took 40,000 in damage. So that definitely adds up, but I guess, the placement, you can certainly alter that, switch it up a little bit, make sure she doesn't get, attacked that often. I put her there intentionally just to see how often she could potentially dodge, but, there's ways around it. So let's see how she does. So yeah, Dokkan mode 200,000, not much, but she did manage to dodge twice in a row, so that definitely helps too there. Alright, she does have type advantage here, so hopefully we might be able to see a critical here. So output wise, 388,000. And she did hit for a critical with about 372,000. I think Toppo was in the rotation there, so he definitely helped. So yeah, I mean, it's really up to each player how they want to go about her potential system. You probably notice I'm using a lot of items just just because I'm placing her at a location that most of the attacks are coming, just to test out the dodge effect at level 17. Yeah, so as you've noticed, she didn't dodge any of those attacks when, you know, there were a pretty decent amount of attacks there. So that's why I'm like on the fence about it a little bit. So hopefully this is useful information for you guys, and thanks for watching.